This is my narrative speech. I'm an EMT currently on a service. The first thing that comes across people's minds is, wow, I could never do that, or, oh my god, what's the worst thing that you've ever done? Well, for me, during my 8 months of service so far, I've had what EMTs called white cloud syndrome. It means that everything in EMT world is sunny and beautiful and everything is alright. Not to say I haven't been through bad stuff, it's just that the situations that aren't out of the ordinary. When I first started EMS, I thought my first call was going to be saving a life or delivering a baby, and do you know what was my first call ever? A drunk guy passed out at a Quick Trip, and he was up walking around by the time we got there. Kind of a buzzkill from what I was expecting. Even though my experiences haven't been that bad, relatively, I do tell this story to all the people who ask, what's the worst thing I've ever come across? Question, because that's probably something you've been wondering since I've mentioned it. I was just about to get off duty around 6 o'clock in the morning. I got dispatched out to a person seizing. Dispatch later updates us that the person's wife is currently doing chest compressions, which changes the level of urgency dramatically. We told dispatch to page out the paramedics. On a side note, since it was 6 a.m., we were having a shift change. There were 4 people on my shift, but a person from the next shift was on board, which makes 5 people. Keep this in mind as we move forward. So we arrive on scene. We see this 6'3", 250-pound man making weird noises in his after seizure or postictal phase. He was aggressive and combative. Along with our 5-man crew, 2 guys from the fire department showed up, 3 people from the next crew arrived, a police officer was there, and the wife and kid were there freaking out in the corner. This brings our total up to 13 people responding to this call. As I mentioned, this untamed beast was trying to hit and trying to bite. Getting this guy into the cot was a task, to say the least. We got him up, though, eventually, and properly restrained him. We know he would never do this if he was in a good mental state, but we had to be precautious, and quite frankly, we had no idea what was going on besides the fact that he had a seizure and he was breathing funny. Once we got outside to the ambulance, he started to calm down and get out of his postictal state. We were loading him into the rig and the paramedics arrived, making a grand total of 15 people that arrived on scene. The patient had no idea what just happened, did not even know what day or when his birthday was, which was only a week earlier. We saw his mental ability start to come back when we arrived at the hospital. The hospital told us to bring him right into CT, where he could get a brain scan. Now, normally we would drop him off and go back to the station, and that would be that. However, they said to wash our hands quickly and come into the room. This little room happened to be where we could see the brain scan happening. It was seriously one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. How many people get to see a brain scan happen, especially if I'm not even in that profession at all. I would say that this was the strangest and oddest call that I've been on so far. First of all, 15 responders, not even to a car accident. That was unreal, to say the least. I learned from that experience that being an EMT doesn't mean saving lives and delivering babies every day. It just allows me to help people and work as a team, whether I have a 15-man crew or a 2-man crew. And I truly hope this is one of the worst experiences that I'll ever have.